Hello everyone and welcome to my guide on using the FAC or FAC system in the Contention DCS server. So first of all, what is the FAC or FAC system? Well, it stands for Forward Artillery Command or Forward Air Control, depending on what you fancy. And it allows some less capable airframes to be very useful, calling in artillery, marking or lasing targets for other planes and doing a lot of damage. It's an incredibly fun system, and I'm just going to try and give a quick guide so you know exactly how to use it, what the parameters are, so you can jump in and start calling artillery down on those pesky tanks. So first of all, what aircraft can you use the FAC system in? You can use the full FAC system in your transport helicopters, that is the Huey and the Mi-8, as well as the trainers, the C-101, L-39 and MB-339, and all World War II warbirds have the full control to use all of its functions. Additionally, several other airframes can use most of the functions but can't call in artillery. This includes the Kiowa, the Gazelle, the Hind, the Sabre, MiG-15 and MiG-19. They can still call in smoke, laze targets, but they can't call in artillery on targets. Now that I'm recording this before the release of the Chinook, I do imagine the Chinook will have full FAC ability to match the Mi-8 when it comes out. Next part then is how to detect targets. This is done automatically for you every 30 seconds. The game will ping around you to see what targets the FAC system brings up. There are some limitations here, notably you do have to have actual line of sight to the target, so these can be blocked by hills, terrain and other features, notably because you'll be doing this a lot against FARPs. The FARP pads themselves do obscure line of sight, and so you can not quite be able to see things that are hidden in between them, so get good angle on targets. There is also a rather strict range limitation. If you are low level, the FAC range is approximately 3 nautical miles, but then this increases steadily as you gain altitude up to a maximum of 5 nautical miles at 12,000 feet. Altitude-wise, you also have to be not landed and have a minimum altitude of 20 feet AGL. This is more of an issue for helicopters than it is for any fixed wing. And you must be below an altitude of 12,000 feet. This isn't too much of an issue for most of the FAC aircraft, but against some of those later jets, it certainly might be an issue. Otherwise, if you are sat between 20 feet and 12,000 feet, any line of sight target within 3 nautical miles will be pinged, and every 30 seconds you get an update in the top right corner telling you how many targets you have identified. This alone can be highly valuable information, especially for helicopters, as it can alert you for an ambush if you're passing by things like ground AAA that are not near a FARP. So do keep an eye on that. Even when you don't think you are in danger, it can absolutely save your life. So the most useful feature of the FAC system once you do have targets is to call artillery on them. In order to do this, once you've got the message in the top right that you do have FAC targets, you want to open your comms menu, go to F10 Other, and then F7 Forward Artillery Command. You then need to select the targets, so press F1 to select target, and you'll be presented with a list of the nearest identified FAC targets. Out of that list, you need to prioritize what you want to drop artillery on and press the corresponding F key. Now that you've selected the target, you have to fire on the target. To do that, again, we go to Comms menu, F10 Other, F7 Forward Artillery Command, and then press F3 Fire on Target. You should receive a shot out notification in the top right, and then after a few seconds your artillery will land. Now the artillery always hits the target, but it may well not actually kill the target. You will get a notification again in the top right when the artillery hits home. It will say good effect on target, and then just wait. If you've actually got a kill, it will pop up saying in the top right that you've gained a credit for an FAC kill. If not, it will pop up saying the target is still alive and you have to re-engage. Either way, before you can fire another artillery salvo, you have to wait 70 in-game seconds. This is the major balancing feature of the FAC system, and it's in order to make sure you can't simply wipe out a base instantaneously. It does take time while you're waiting for the cooldown. Other things just to note here is perfectly possible for a target to have been destroyed between you picking it up on the FAC system and you ordering a shot out on it, in which case you will get a message in the top corner telling you that you've not selected a target if the target's already dead. Equally, if another FAC ping pass has occurred between you selecting the target and firing a shot out, and between then you've lost eyes on the target, you'll be unable to call in the shot until you get eyes again. Otherwise, this is incredibly effective. It seems to kill most things in one. The only thing that I've had survive a hit is tanks, and tanks go in normally 2 attacks with artillery. Do note, for targeting purposes, though you can only target units, you cannot target buildings, and so very importantly, you cannot target the airfield HQ or depot or factory buildings using the FAC systems. You have to fall back on other munitions to take those out. Equally, it's only ground assets and not landed planes that you can target using this. So again, if you're raiding a FARP and there are helicopters on the ground, you'll have to use something else to engage those helicopters. Now, although artillery is the major use of the FAC system, it is not the only use. You can also use it to help coordinate with other players. Very notably, you can drop smoke on your targets. You select your target the exact same way you would for artillery, but now using the F10 menu, go to forward artillery command, and then select smoke on target. You then get presented a list of colours that you can select, and then this will drop the smoke instantaneously on the target. There is no cooldown for smoking on targets, but do note that you only take off with 5 smokes. You do get these refilled whenever you land at a friendly FARP or airfield, or you can spend credits to get bonus smokes in the field if you've been using yours quite a lot. These can be incredibly useful when used in conjunction with SRS, as you can call in other planes, whether that is call them in to attack your target in between your artillery rounds, or just as warnings. So if you see a SAM site hidden around, very useful to drop smoke on it to warn others around you, and then do give a corresponding message either in chat or on SRS to let people know what colour of smoke you've dropped and what it is signifying. The other thing that you can do once you have selected a target is laze the target. Again, this is done with the F10 menu. You go to forward artillery command and laze target. This time you'll be presented a list of 5 different laser frequencies that you can use, and once you select them, you will then start lasing the target for 2 full minutes. You have to maintain line of sight, but it does not matter the orientation of your aircraft during this, so you can turn away, which can be quite helpful. And this will continuously laze the target, so it can be used for buddy lasing in a friend's bomb, or pointing out areas for other aircraft which have laser spot search features, such as the A10C2. After 2 minutes, the laser will turn off automatically. You cannot turn it off beforehand, and so do keep an eye on conflicting laser signals there, which is why you're presented with 5 different frequencies. And as soon as the laser finishes firing, you can immediately fire again, so don't worry, there's no cooldown on these at all. And just as a reminder, these smoke and laser features are available to all the FAC aircraft, including the Sabre 15 and 19, and so even though those airframes cannot drop artillery, they can still do a lot of damage and help their team using these. So yeah, that's my guide on using the FAC system on Contention server. If you have any questions about this, if there's anything I've missed, please you just leave them down below and I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, I am planning more in-depth dives into other systems in the future, so stay tuned for those. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.